When I teach people how to communicate, generally my idea is, how can we resolve this properly? How can we take this into the future in a stronger way? त्यो communication गर्दाखेरि, it's very, very, very important to first have clarity of thought. What has not changed? I think हामी नेपालमा भएर हैन, हाम्रो point of view अलि सानो कहिलेकाहीँ हुन्छ. Yes, I know there are problems. I'm not going to deny that. तर गएको 19 वर्षमा, I've seen this country grow from a place where we were not sure about electricity. We were not sure about water. We had fuel shortage. We had protests every day. I have seen that phase, and I see this phase where children, youngsters are talking about growth, are talking about IT, are talking about AI. I understand we may not be as developed as some other countries. The greatest failure of my life till now, and I'm almost 40. I turned 40 in 15 days, okay? Exactly 15 days, actually. The greatest failure in my life so far, if I look back, has been not having had the power to speak up for myself. This has been such a big mistake that I kept making. I kept keeping my emotions to myself, not sharing my voice in the way I should have, in the way I wanted to, in the way that I should have used to change my life. If you want to be a better communicator, just keep, there are many frameworks, many things you can learn, haina? But there are 3 main rules. Okay? Number 1, if I want to be a better communicator, त्यो stage मा हुन सक्छ, त्यो media मा हुन सक्छ, त्यो साथीहरुसँग हुन सक्छ, त्यो camera मा हेरेर बोल्न सक्छ, whatever it is, the first thing I need to realize is, म भन्दा मेरो audience बेसी आवश्यक छ.
Namaskar. Welcome to Real Story Time, where stories become an inspiration. रियल स्टोरी टाइममा हामीले समाजमा काम गरिरहनुभएका विभिन्न व्यक्तित्वहरू जसले समाजलाई मोटिभेट गर्नुहुन्छ अगाडि बढ्नका लागि, जो समाजको मोटिभेसन हुनुहुन्छ, जसले आफ्नो कामबाट धेरैलाई अगाडि बढ्न प्रेरित गरिरहनु भएको छ, मद्दत गरिरहनु भएको छ, त्यस्ता व्यक्तित्वहरूसँग उहाँहरूका जीवनका भोगाई, सफलता, सिकाइ र अनुभवका बारेमा कुराकानी गर्छौं. र आजको अङ्कमा हामीसँग एकजना त्यस्तो व्यक्तित्व हुनुहुन्छ जसले नेपाललाई मात्रै नभएर धेरैजनालाई आफ्नो कामबाट अगाडि बढ्नका लागि प्रेरित गरिरहनु भएको छ. उहाँ इन्टरनेशनल कर्पोरेट ट्रेनर हुनुहुन्छ, कम्युनिकेसन कोच हुनुहुन्छ, सेल्फ ब्रान्डिङको कामहरू गरिराख्नु भएको छ, टेडेक्स स्पिकर हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँका अन्य धेरै परिचयहरू हुन्छन्, फोटोग्राफर हुनुहुन्छ, मदर हुनुहुन्छ, सो मेनी एस्पेक्ट्स. आज हामीसँग उहाँका जीवनका भोगाई, सङ्घर्ष, सिकाइ र अनुभवका बारेमा कुराकानी गर्छौं. आज हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ द मानसी अग्रवाल. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome her on Real Story Time. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaste. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be doing this with you. Thank you, Mamita.
Thank you, ma'am. मलाई हजुरलाई सुरुमा सोध्न मन लागेको, म अचल हजुरलाई कसरी चिन्छु भने Indian citizen,
right,
but the daughter of Nepal.
Oh, I like that. Okay, that's very nice.
अनि अर्को चाहिँ from India's daughter to Nepal's voice भनेर म चिन्छु हजुरलाई पर्सनली त्यसरी.
Right.
हजुरले नेपाललाई कसरी चिन्नुहुन्छ?
म नेपाललाई चिन्छु as my home, हैन? It's really strange, okay? इन्डियामा, I was born in India. इन्डियामा हुर्क्या हो. I learned everything, school, college, सबै मेरो एजुकेसन पनि त्यहाँ भयो. नेपालमा म एक्लै बस्छु छोरासँग. एक तरिकाले नेपालमा बाबु बाहेक मेरो कुनै फ्यामिली नै छैन. But for me, Nepal today is home. And the definition of home is where you have your family, where you have your people. So, mero lagi kune sano, mero afno blood-related family na bhaera. Everybody that I think lives in Nepal is for me family. Because this place is my home. I was in India 3 weeks ago. I traveled extensively. I went to 7 different cities in India in a short span of, I think, 2 weeks. Haina? 7 ठाउँ गएर, India तला माथि सबै ठाउँ घुमेर पनि, I always felt like a guest. I always felt like a tourist. Nepal फर्किन बित्तिकै काठमाडौँमा ल्यान्ड हुन बित्तिकै I'm like, घर आइपुगे. So that feeling that I get in Kathmandu, I don't get anywhere else in the world. Maybe that's why I like to say Nepal is my home.
I think home भन्ने बित्तिकै मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ नि, where our heart belongs.
Yes, absolutely. My heart is in Kathmandu. I feel like I was just meant to come here jasto लाग्छ के. It happened in a very different way होला, but I was just meant to come here. I was just meant to be a part of this ecosystem, and I'm so grateful I got a chance. So grateful.
2006
Yes.
2025
Yes.
नेपाललाई फर्केर हेर्नु पर्यो भने the first day लाई रिकल गर्दाखेरि र as a नेपाललाई सम्झिँदाखेरि के डिफरेन्स पाउनुहुन्छ?
What has not changed? I think हामी नेपालमा भएर हैन हाम्रो point of view अलि सानो कहिलेकाहीँ हुन्छ. Yes, I know there are problems. I'm not going to deny that. तर गएको 19 वर्षमा I've seen this country grow from a place where we were not sure about electricity, we were not sure about water, we had fuel shortage, we had protests every day. I have seen that phase, and I see this phase where children, youngsters are talking about growth, are talking about IT, are talking about AI. I understand we may not be as developed as some other countries, but we are much, much better than what we were 19 years ago. अनि यो जो 19 years को जुन एक तरिकाको growth भनौँ अथवा development भनौँ, yes, a lot more can be done, but everywhere a lot more can be done. I think we should be grateful and appreciative of our achievements because truly we have achieved a lot. The change I've seen in this country is unparalleled. In fact, last year मेरो बाबा आउनु भएको थियो हैन, अनि he came after 10 years. 10 वर्षमा आएर he's like, के भयो? Like, what happened? The roads are well lit, हैन? And I was driving him around the city in my car. He's like, oh my God, यति लाइट छ. Oh my God, दरबारमा यस्तो बाटो, यस्तो खतरा यो थियो. So some parts of the city he was so impressed by. Bhaktapurma गएर राति पनि लाइट बलिरहेको. He hadn't seen all these things earlier, okay? So I think now it's a very gradual shift for us because we are here, we are part of it. But बाहिरबाट हेर्दाखेरि, somebody who was here in 2006, 7, 8, 9, and if they come back suddenly, they'll be shocked. And that for me is true sign of a country that's moving. Maybe slowly, yes. Yes, we have problems, but we need to appreciate and be grateful for the changes we've made as well.
Of course, slowly चाहिँ सबै चिजहरुबाट बिस्तारै हुन्छ भन्ने एउटा गुड साइन पनि हो. I think we are more focused on negativity that we denied ourselves to see the positive part हरु हैन. सो तपाईले अघि पनि भन्नुभयो, मलाई त्यो अहिले नै जोड्न मन लागिहाल्यो. मैले मेरो बाबालाई ड्राइभ गरेर सिटी देखाएँ भनेर. आई नो तपाईलाई पहिला ड्राइभिङ आउँदैन.
Yes, yes.
सो यससँगै जोडिहाल्छु अनि तपाईले तपाईको सोमा पनि सोध्नुहुन्थ्यो. सो व्हाट वाज योर ग्रेटेस्ट फेलियर and how you overcome from it?
The greatest failure of my life till now, and I'm almost 40. I turned 40 in 15 days, okay? Exactly 15 days actually. The greatest failure in my life so far, if I look back, has been not having had the power to speak up for myself. This has been such a big mistake that I kept making. I kept keeping my emotions to myself, not sharing my voice in the way I should have, in the way I wanted to, in the way that I should have used to change my life. मैले आफ्नो लागि आवाज उठाउन सकेन धेरै वर्षसम्म. And maybe all of that resulted in shaping me into the person I am today. So I think त्यो pent up जति थियो बोल्नु पर्ने हो, अगाडि आउनु पर्ने हो, आफ्नो कुरा राख्नु पर्ने हो, हैन? I always used to think मेरो if I say something, people are not going to take it well. I was a people pleaser, के सबैको बारेमा पहिला सोच्ने, आफ्नो पर्सनल बाउन्ड्रिज नराख्ने, मलाई के चाहियो त्यो कहिले नि नसोच्ने के अर्कोलाई के दिन सक्ने. But then slowly I realized that it is not serving me well, it is not serving anybody well. Because my happiness is my responsibility. And if I'm not happy, I can't overflow from that. Happiness has to overflow. I can't make you happy without being happy myself. के त्यो सम्भव छैन. बिस्तारै, I think in the last 5-7 years, I started to understand these things. And I slowly started to take the baby steps, के आफ्नो कुरा राख्नु पर्छ, आवाज उठाउनु पर्छ, बोल्नु पर्छ, यो कुरा मान्छेसम्म पुर्याउनु पर्छ, आफ्नो बाउन्ड्रिजको बारेमा अलिकता स्ट्रिक्ट हुनु पर्छ. बिस्तारै I think I started doing these things and it started changing my life. So that was initially my biggest failure, and today I'm trying to make that my strength and hoping other people can also learn from that strength. That I think is the joy of my life.
धेरैजनालाई चाहिँ आफूसँग कम्फर्टेबल हुनलाई एकदमै धेरै टाइम लाग्छ. हजुरले भन्नुभयो नि आज हामीले हेर्दाखेरि तपाईँ त कम्युनिकेसनको छ, तपाईँ त बोल्न सिकाउने मान्छे, तपाईले त अरूको कुराहरूलाई बुझाउने मान्छे, ब्रान्डिङ गर्न सिकाउने मान्छे भनेर चिन्दै गर्दाखेरि पनि सबैजनाको एउटा लाइफमा एउटा पोइन्टमा चाहिँ गएर आफूसँग पनि अनकम्फर्टेबल हुँदै आफैसँग त्यो फेस गर्दै झगडा गर्दै त्यो हार्ट र माइन्डसँग फाइट गर्दै अगाडि बढेर चाहिँ अहिले अझ कम्फर्टेबल भएर अगाडि बढिराख्नु भएको छ। कति धेरैजनालाई चाहिँ अहिले पनि आफूसँग अथवा म फिमेल भएको हो भन्ने एस्पेक्टबाट पनि गाह्रो हुन्छ होइन। सो अहिले चाहिँ के गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ अनि हजुर कम्युनिकेसनकै भइराखेको भएको भएर बोलेपछि के हुन्छ?
Oh, okay, good question actually. You know why I am a communication coach? Because I understand both sides of the story. Okay? म बुझ्छु what it is like to not be able to speak. And I also understand the power you get if you know how to communicate better. You know what I mean? If I was always good at expressing myself, maybe I wouldn't have understood the feelings of other people who don't know how to. तर म पनि त्यहाँ थिएँ, मलाई पनि थाहा छ. And that is why today I know how to help people speak and speak up strongly, right? बोलेर के हुन्छ? Firstly, it's very important to understand when you communicate, are you communicate to break, to burn bridges, or are you communicating for alignment, for the future, for going forward, right? When I teach people how to communicate, generally my idea is, how can we resolve this properly? How can we take this into the future in a stronger way? त्यो communication गर्दाखेरि it's very, very, very important to first have clarity of thought. What do I want to say? Suppose Mamita and me are having a problem. हाम्रो झगडा परिरहेछ, कुनै कारणले discussion परिरहेछ. It's very important for me to understand my emotions, understand my thoughts, and then decide मलाई ममितासँग झगडा गरेर यो दोस्तीलाई हटाइदिनु पर्यो, यो हाम्रो फ्रेन्डशिपलाई सकाइदिनु पर्यो, or do I want to take it forward in a stronger way? Once I understand that, then there are communication frameworks like structures which can help me communicate better in a way you feel good, you feel heard, you feel included. हजुरलाई पनि लाग्छ ओहो मान्छेले मलाई सुन्यो पनि, टाइम पनि दियो, बुझ्न पनि ट्राई गर्यो. I feel comfortable, I feel like मैले शेयर गर्न पाएँ, and both of us feel closer than before. एउटा एकदम राम्रो कुरा मलाई के लाग्छ, life is defined by the hard conversations you choose to have and not choose to have. Everybody has difficult conversations. कतिजनाको बानी हुन्छ त्यो कन्भर्सेसनलाई हटाइदिनु पर्यो, नगरौँ इग्नोर गर्ने हैन, लुकाइदिने, फिल पनि नगर्ने, यो कन्भर्सेसन आवश्यक छ. But if you can really have those difficult conversations, if you can really talk in a matured way, in an emotionally regulated way, when there's a chance to have a difficult conversation, that's going to change your life. So life can be defined by the difficult conversations you choose to and not choose to have. अनि यो कति ठुलो कुरा छ हो कि हैन? हामी सोच्छौं life is about making these big changes, this. Yes, it starts with difficult conversations. So if you understand how to have these difficult conversations meaningfully and in a way that really pulls people closer, you can redefine and change your life.
हजुरले भन्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई फरगट एक्ज्याक्टली कुन मुभीमा तर एउटा डायलग छ कि until and unless there is a human, emotion always works.
Okay.
So communication भनेको पनि connecting emotions in our own way भन्ने जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई हैन, किनभने you are having your own kind of emotion and thoughts and I'm having my own kind of emotion and thoughts, but त्यो मिड पोइन्टमा आएर चाहिँ हामीले इमोसनलाई कसरी रेगुलेट गर्ने भनेर थाहा पायो भने चाहिँ I think we will be a better communicator.
100%.
सो हजुरले कम्युनिकेसन भन्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अहिले भर्खर नै हामीले कुरा गऱ्यौँ होइन, किन बोल्ने, किन कम्युनिकेसन गर्ने भनेर. तर फेरि अघि भने जस्तै हजुर र मेरो कन्फ्लिक्ट भयो, हजुरलाई बोल्न आउँछ, अब मलाई बोल्न आउँदैन. सो मैले बेटर कम्युनिकेटरहरू पऱ्यो भने के गर्नुपर्छ?
Okay. If you want to be a better communicator, just keep, there are many frameworks, many things you can learn, हैन? But there are 3 main rules. Okay? Number 1, if I want to be a better communicator, त्यो स्टेजमा हुन सक्छ, त्यो मिडियामा हुन सक्छ, त्यो साथीहरूसँग हुन सक्छ, त्यो क्यामेरामा हेरेर बोल्न सक्छ, whatever it is, the first thing I need to realize is म भन्दा मेरो ऑडियन्स बेसी आवश्यक छ. The audience is more important than me. हामीलाई के लाग्छ सबै भन्दियो हैन, तर যদি এখন আমি বাংলাতে কথা করি তুমি বুঝতে পারবে না. Correct? If I speak in a language you don't understand, it's not going to make sense. So I have to understand my audience first. I have to be a good listener. Mamita is asking me this question, I'm giving an answer of this. Mamita asked me, how can I be a better communicator? And I'm talking about how to write a better poem. Kame bhoina. So the most important thing, rule number 1 of communication is, I am important, but my audience is more important than me. Number 1. Number 2, यो बुझेपछि सबभन्दा आवश्यक कुरा हामी सुन्छौँ, ट्रिट अदर्स लाइक यु वुड लाइक देम टु ट्रिट यु, हो कि होइन? अर्कोसँग त्यो तरिकाको व्यवहार गरौँ, अर्कोसँग त्यो तरिकाको कुरा गरौँ एज यु वुड लाइक देम टु ट्रिट यु. रङ. ट्रिट अदर्स, स्पिक टु अदर्स इन द वे दे लाइक टु बी स्पोकन टु. अर्कोको बुझ्ने तरिका के छ त? अर्कोको ब्रेन कसरी त्यो इन्फर्मेसनलाई प्रोसेस गर्छ? इफ आई क्यान अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट, आई क्यान स्पिक इन अ वे यु वान्ट. फर इक्जाम्पल, let's say I want to talk about the importance of not smoking. Okay? You are a housewife. म तपाईलाई इमोसनल तरिकाले बोल्छु. Listen, smoke नगर्नु. तपाईको बच्चा छ, उलाई पनि प्यासिभ स्मोकिङ हुन्छ, कति गाह्रो हुन्छ. हाउसवाइफलाई म यो तरिकाले भन्न सक्छु. कोही डक्टर छ, मेडिकल रिपोर्ट्स देखाएर, हेर्नु तपाईँ डक्टर हुनुहुन्छ, यो भइहाल्छ टेक्निकल कुरा गरेर. कोही नेता छ, उहाँलाई हेर्नु युवा पिँढीलाई कस्तो नराम्रो इन्सपिरेसन जान्छ, कस्तो नराम्रो इक्जाम्पल जान्छ. बोल्ने कुरा सेम हो, तर अगाडिको मान्छे कुन तरिकाले बुझ्छ, यदि मैले त्यो समात्न सकेँ, मैले त्यो तरिकाले बोल्न सकेँ, I can really win any conversation. त्यो पनि आवश्यक कुरा. अनि तेस्रो कुरा, अनि यसको लागि म हजुरलाई एउटा प्रश्न सोध्छु. Suppose, Mamita, today I see you in the morning and I tell you, wow, Mamita, you're looking so pretty today. त्यो एक तरिका भयो. अनि म यो पनि भन्न सक्छु, wow, Mamita, you're looking so pretty today. तपाईँ चाहिँ सेकेन्ड केसमा के मान्नुहुन्छ? मेरो शब्द कि मेरो बोल्ने तरिका?
तरिका.
अनि तरिकाले के भनिरहेछ? म खुसी छु कि म जेलस छु?
Kind of jealous and I'm awkward.
Awkward, jealous, right? Which means that our brains don't process words as much as they process body language and voice. So the third thing you need to understand, if you need to be a good communicator, is how to have great manner, great delivery, great body language and voice, because that can define. So 3 things. Number 1, recap kardakeri. Your audience is always more important than you. You got to be a great listener. Number 2, speak to them in a way they will understand. And number 3, words bhanda, tapaiko bolne tarika, tapaiko manner, tapaiko delivery, definitely more important छ.
कस्तो राम्रोसँग सम्झाउनु भयो हजुरले. हामीले कम्युनिकेसन र सेल्फ ब्रान्डिङ र ब्रान्डिङसँग कनेक्ट गर्यो भने पनि यो चिजहरू त्यसमै लागु हुने भएर आउने हो. मोर ब्रान्डिङ फोकस हुँदाखेरि पनि हजुरले भन्नुभएको थियो नि, एउटा मैले हजुरको रिसर्च गर्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ हजुरको एकदमै भाइरल गएको भिडियो, अर फेमस, भाइरल भन्ने वर्ड आई डोन्ट थिङ्क इट्स प्रिपेरेड, एकदमै फेमस भएको भिडियो होइन, 7 reasons why you should not travel नेपाल. त्यसमा हजुरले भन्नुभएको थियो त्यो राम्रोसँग अडियन्सले मन पराइदिनु भयो, नट बिकज आइ एम द टुरिज्म एक्सपर्ट, बिकज अफ द वे आई स्पिक एन्ड द स्किल अफ माई कम्युनिकेसन्स. सो कुनै पनि चिज गर्दै गर्दाखेरि ब्रान्डिङको एस्पेक्ट्सबाट अर नर्मली कम्युनिकेसनमा पनि किन आवश्यक छ यो गुड वेमा कम्युनिकेट गर्नको लागि, अथवा ब्रान्डिङ गर्दै गर्दाखेरि पनि इट्स नट ओन्ली ब्रान्डिङ अर प्रडक्ट अर पिपल, इट्स अल्सो अबाउट यो कम्युनिकेसन भनेर बुझाउनका लागि चाहिँ के आवश्यक छ ब्रान्डिङसँग जोडेर हेर्दाखेरि?
ओके, यस्तो छ. You can be a great photographer. You can be a great doctor. You can be a great whatever, होइन? टेक्निकल स्किल्स तपाईँको 100 on 100 हुन सक्छ. तर जबसम्म you don't know how to share that with the world, जबसम्म you don't know how to communicate that with the world, how will the circle of your influence grow? How will the number of people that know about you grow? How will you be able to brand yourself? Branding yourself is what? Putting yourself out there, letting people know what you're good at, what you stand for, what your values are. But how do you let people know? By communicating. So I think communication is not just important branding को लागि, not just leadership को लागि, प्रत्येक फिल्डमा यो आवश्यक हुन सक्छ, हैन? म एकदमै सानो थिएँ, मलाई याद छ, I wanted to be an economist at that point. मेरो एम थियो म इकोनोमिक्स पढेर त्यसमै PhD गर्छु अनि त्यसपछि गभर्नमेन्टको लागि इकोनोमिस्टको काम गर्छु के. I didn't even realize how big or how small that was. That was just my aim. मलाई एकदम cool लाग्थ्यो के त्यो कुरा हैन. Economist हुनको लागि पनि, don't you need to communicate well? त्यतिखेर I realized I could be a great economist at this level, but to take it to a leadership level, I would need to be able to communicate with people, because who is a leader? Somebody who gets people together and gets them to work together. So unless you know how to communicate better, you can't be a leader in any field. You can't brand yourself properly in any field, and you can't really have the best relationships within your teams, with people outside, with stakeholders, without communicating well. So communicating the branding मात्र हैन, leadership को लागि पनि आवश्यक लाग्छ, हरेक कुरामा आवश्यक लाग्छ.
हामीले अहिले अलिकता ब्रान्डिङको कुरा गऱ्यौँ, अलिकता कम्युनिकेसनको कुरा गऱ्यौँ, अब हामी अलिकता तपाईँको कुरा गर्छौँ.
हुन्छ.
आज यत्रो धेरै वर्ष नेपालमा बसेर कलकत्तालाई सम्झिनु पर्दा अनि आफ्नो फेभरेट मेमोरिज सम्झिँदा स्कुलको के चाहिँ मेरो बेस्ट मेमोरी हो जस्तो लाग्छ हजुरलाई?
Oh, my school was amazing. मेरो स्कुल लाइफमा हामीलाई धेरै अपर्च्युनिटिज पनि थियो जस्तो लाग्छ त्यति बेलाको लागि. I'm talking about 20 years ago म स्कुलबाट निस्केको हैन. So those days, whatever the world was at that time, I had a lot of opportunities to learn and to grow. म स्विमिङमा एकदमै राम्रो थिएँ. I was on my school team. I was learning a lot there. I had amazing friends. My parents were very supportive. My mother was always there. स्कुलले हामीलाई धेरै पेल्थ्यो पनि, यो पनि गर्नु पर्यो, यो पनि. There was so much to do, and we were so motivated भित्रबाट के यो पनि हामीलाई अलि पेलेर पनि राख्ने, अनि हामी खुसी त्यतिखेर त्यो पेलान पनि खाने, because we were also growing. Okay? And I think one of the most important things that I learned in school was how to shift gears. Like बिहान स्कुलमा जाने, म्याथ्स एक्जाम छ, त्यसपछि क्लबको मिटिङ छ, मिटिङमा इफ आइम द प्रेसिडेन्ट, आई वाज द प्रेसिडेन्ट अफ वान क्लब, द कल्चरल क्लब, त्यो मिटिङमा प्रिसाइड गर्ने, त्यसपछि 2 घण्टा स्विमिङ प्र्याक्टिस, त्यसपछि घर आएर फेरि आर्ट क्लास, त्यसपछि राति साथीहरूसँग खेल्न तल जाने. सो वी ह्याड सच अ फुल लाइफ. आई थिङ्क द्याट वाज द बेस्ट थिङ. एन्ड वाट एभर आई रिमेम्बर, मेरो लागि सबभन्दा राम्रो कुरा आजको दिनमा सोच्दाखेरि, we had no phones, we had no cell phone to थियो, class 12 मा म पुग्दा आइसकेको थियो, but we had no internet, थियो Insta, social media हरु थिएन के. So our lives were about real connections, and that I think was amazing about my childhood.
अहिलेको बच्चाहरूलाई त इभन मलाई पनि हजुरले भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ ए ओके जस्तो लाग्छ कि, किनभने आई डोन्ट ह्याभ द्याट काइन्ड अफ एक्सपिरियन्स.
राइट.
अहिले कुरा गर्दाखेरि त्यो फोनहरू नहुनु अथवा इन्टरनेटको एक्सेस नहुनु, द गुड वेमा हेर्दा भने त फोकस भयो होइन, डिस्ट्र्याक्सन कम भयो, कति धेरै कुराहरू छ. अहिले हजुरले भन्नुभयो नि मल्टिटास्क गर्थेँ भनेर, मैले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मल्टिटास्किङमा जोड्छु कि हजुरले भन्नुभयो नि क्लासेस, इक्जाम्स, देन मिटिङ अनि खेल्ने भनेर. अहिले पनि कति धेरै कामहरू गर्नुहुन्छ नि त, अफिस अनि ट्रेनिङ सेसन्स, अनि अब फेरि हजुरले भन्नुभयो बेबी पनि छ, बेबीलाई टाइम पनि दिनु पऱ्यो. जसरी हामीले सम्झिँदाखेरि हाम्रो मम्मीहरूले दिने टाइम र अहिले ठ्याक्क त्यो डाइनामिक सिफ्ट भएको जस्तो भयो नि त होइन. मल्टिटास्किङमा बच्चा पनि आयो आफू बच्चा हुँदादेखिको. सो यो सबै गर्दाखेरि टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट कसरी गर्नुहुन्छ अनि हजुरको नर्मल डे कस्तो हुन्छ?
It's a very difficult question. She will give a better answer, I think. Haina, she's come with me. मेरो टिमलाई थाहा छ मेरो नर्मल डे कस्तो छ. I don't think anyone else can understand the madness that sometimes we face, होइन. I think मेरो स्कुलले जुन हामीलाई मल्टिटास्किङ अनि टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट सिकायो, मैले त्यो अलिक बेसी सिरियसली लिएको जस्तो लाग्छ के. इट्स लाइक द स्टोरी अफ माई लाइफ. लाइक सो मेनी टाइम्स माई फ्रेन्ड्स हु नो मी क्लोजली आर लाइक हाउ आर यु डुइङ दिस, लाइक वाट आर यु डुइङ. हिजो कनिका भनेर एउटा साथी छ मेरो, उहाँले मेसेज गर्नुभयो एउटा फोटो हेरेर इन्स्टाग्राम स्टोरीमा, शी लाइक आर यु ओके, आर यु सिक, talk to me. त्यस्तो मेसेज आउँछ कि मलाई, because I know, and I'm saying this with no amount of pride, my life is extremely toxic in some ways, and I'll tell you what those ways are. मलाई time management गर्न आउँछ, but I know it so well that I'm overconfident and I take more than I can handle. So maybe I don't know how to do it very well. You know what I mean? त्यो पनि हो होइन. I feel I can do everything. and I try to do everything. मेरो यस्तो दिन हुन्छ. Past 7 days we've been on a marathon. अनि यस्तो marathon 3 दिन हामीले UNDP को एउटा ठुलो काम गर्यौं. ठुलो प्रोग्राम थियो 9 घण्टा 3 दिन स्टेजमा बोल्ने. त्यसपछि एक दिन शूट अनि कोचिङ. त्यसपछि एक दिन एउटा कम्पनीमा with engineers, एक दिन 31 bankers, एक दिन at a round table event, yesterday at American Embassy. So for the last 7 days I have been on stage. If you put everything together, more than 50 hours in 7 days. That's psycho. That's huge. Not 50 hours, sorry, 40 hours. That's still huge. 40 hours in 7 days on stage. Plus I've done shoots. Plus I've had my office work happen. Plus I have a child. Plus I've celebrated a very close friend's birthday party. I went for the party. Plus I've met another friend for coffee. So, iti dherai full cha mero life. Sometimes I feel I overlearned how to manage time. I overlearned multitasking. Okay? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But now I also know that I am at a stage and at an age where my body needs different kinds of requirements. I need to rest a bit more. So now this week, why am I doing this podcast this week? Chill week cha podcast garna sakchu, lunch ma jana sakchu. So I sort of balance it not on a daily basis. So mero lagi time management is never on a daily basis. It's not like every day I can give 2 hours to my child, 5 hours to work and 2 hours to socialization. Absolutely not. There are times when my child is my 100% priority. So त्यो दिन फोन पनि खोल्दिन. बाबुलाई यताउता लग्छु भने मलाई अरु कुनै कुरासँग मतलब हुँदैन. There are days when being with my friends and meeting people, going for events is my priority. That day maybe I look at my child for 20 minutes. I have a conversation with him. We talk, we read before we sleep. But I can't really give him time. There are days when work is my 100%. So rather than balancing on a daily basis, I try to balance on a weekly basis. Okay? म त्यो तरिकाले गरिरहेको छु because I've realized otherwise with the kind of work I do it's not possible. I'm not working in a bank, right? 10 to 5 अथवा 9 to 6 or whatever your timings are. मेरो त्यस्तो छैन के. When I have work pressure, I have work pressure. And if I have to speak on stage for 9 hours, I need 20 hours of preparation before that and I'm doing that myself. If I need to put something on social media, I need to say that content. If I need 1 month of content, म स्टेजमा 9 घण्टा छु तर आजको दिनमा तपाईलाई थाहा हुँदैन 3 भिडियो त आइ नै रहेछ. I've shot that before. So I'm doing too many things. Maybe I learned it too well. And I feel I can do everything. Maybe it's a problem. It is slightly toxic. This is how I'm balancing it. And I think I'm doing okay so far.
Out of the context, तपाईँ ठुलो छोरी हो घरको.
हजुर. कसरी थाहा पायो? Oh yeah. Typical ठुलो छोरी. Absolutely. See, you can guess, right? Taking responsibility for other people. Doing things for other people. People pleasing. I can do it all. I don't need anybody. Absolute characteristics of oldest daughter. Yes. अनि त्यो एउटा मैले एकदम राम्रो एउटा meme जस्तो दिने थिएँ. Overachievement always.
Especially the elder daughters.
Always. मैले एउटा meme देखेको थिएँ. Siblings on vacation, के? अनि first sibling is like the oldest daughter. बिहान 8 बजेसम्म she's like, hey, I went for a walk, I did this, I checked out the museum, I know the prices of this is how we have to go, टक बिहान 8 बजेसम्म उसले 17 काम गरिसक्यो. Middle child is like getting out of bed, what? And the youngest child is still asleep and has to be pushed out of bed at 10, हैन? That was like a meme. अनि कोले पठाएको? मेरो बहिनीले, मेरो आफ्नो बहिनीले, this is you. What do you do? Why do you do so much by 8 in the morning? You know, we are waking up and you've achieved 20 things. You've packed our food. You've done this. You've planned this. You've figured this out. You've done your walk. You've done your mamala gard. So you've done this. Bhai to sute ko sute huncha. Music sunira huncha. Ma uthira. So you've done all this. Ani, this is so true for us, okay? And I know I suffer from that oldest daughter syndrome very badly. Very badly.
हजुरलाई भेकेसनमा जाँदाखेरि किनभने मलाई पनि अलिक समय अगाडिसम्म त्यस्तो हुन्छ. मेरो पनि 2टा बहिनीहरू छ है. म चाहिँ मिडल हो बट स्टिल त्यो भेकेसनमा गइरहेछ अनि मेरो माइन्डले के भन्न चाहिँ 9 बजे उठेर गेट रेडी. के पनि छैन. भेकेसनमा चाहिँ सुत्न नै मिल्छ नि त हैन. डु व्हाटएभर यु लाइक हैन. ओके. फ्रेसन अप, मेकअप. के भन्छ ल्यापटप. किन लगिरहेको छु मैले? आई डोन्ट नो.
म चाहिँ एउटा कुरा राम्रो भन्नु, मैले आजसम्म ल्यापटप कहीँ पनि लगेको छैन. आई डोन्ट टेक माई ल्यापटप. आई वर्क अन माई फोन. आई हेभ अ भेरी नाइस टिम द्याट सपोर्ट्स मी. सो इफ आई निड समथिङ टु बी डन अन ल्यापटप दे विल डु इट फर मी इभन वेन आम अन भेकेसन. त्यो कुरा छुट्यो. तर त्यो बाहेक तपाईँ 9 बजे उठेर गर्नुहुन्छ, म 6 बजे उठेर गर्छु. वाट्स द पोइन्ट अफ इट? एन्ड यु नो इन फ्याक्ट, सो वान अफ माई फ्रेन्ड्स गुन्जन भनेर एउटा साथी, सी इज लाइक, मानसी, You're looking tired in your photographs. You are tired. You're not well. I'm taking medication. We just saw that. You go on a vacation. I'm like, pagal hai. I'll go on a vacation. I'll be planning things there. She's like, just go to Pokhara. I said, yeah. But you know what my Pokhara trip is? I will drive to Pokhara myself. I will look for a hotel myself. I will take my bags out of the car myself.
tiring.
Then I'm going to be, exactly, then I'm going to be यहाँ जाने, मंदिर जाने, यो करने, यहाँ यो खाने, यो करने, इसलाई बेटने, उसलाई बेटने, यो करने, त्यो करने. My Pokhara vacation will be another to-do list. So then I decided मेरो vacation के छ? मेरो couch छ, हैन? मेरो राम्रो music चलाउने टिभीमा. दिदीलाई भने दिदी खाना यहीँ दिनु आज म सुतेर खान्छु. So for the last 48 hours, since this crazy thing, 48 hours, I have literally been a couch potato. मैले उठेको पनि छैन. So that's what I do, because for me the concept of a vacation is, if I get excited about the place that I'm going to,
you can relax.
Yeah, but if I'm excited, I'm on a holiday and I'm excited, I'm in Paris, मलाई हरेक कुरा हेर्नु पर्ने छ. त्यहाँबाट आएर बरु थकिहाल्छु and I need another vacation after that vacation. के रिल्याक्सिङ को लागि मेरो लागि घर इज द बेस्ट. आई रियलाइज्ड घरमा बस्ने, दिनभरि बस्ने, म्युजिक सुन्ने, खाना खाने, म्युजिक सुन्ने, खाना खाने, सुत्ने. आई थिङ्क द्याट्स बेटर फर मी.
अझै एकदमै टायरिङ भएर नयाँ ठाउँमा गइसके पछाडि त होइन, जाने हो भने चाहिँ अलरेडी आई थिङ्क एकदमै धेरै काम गर्ने मान्छेहरूसँग चाहिँ मलाई पर्सनली मैले के अब्जर्भ गरेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ बडी एकदमै टायर्ड भए पनि उहाँहरूको माइन्डलाई चाहिँ पुगेकै हुन्न कि, बिकज गरेको छ बानी हुन्छ नि त. त्यो सबकन्सियसली होइन मैले त्यो एचिभ गर्न छ भन्ने हुन्छ, बट बडीलाई त बडी निड रेस्ट. अनि एउटा पोइन्टमा पुगेर चाहिँ होइन गर्नै छ वाला त्यो. हजुरलाई त्यस्तो हुन्छ कि नै, यो मैले पुगेको छैन भन्ने लागिरहेछ माइन्डलाई चाहिँ, तर माई बडी वाज लाइक आई निड रेस्ट.
100%. You know, they say that when your eyes water, have you noticed my eyes water, right? When your eyes water, your brain needs rest. My brain always needs rest. But there's another very interesting fact, and that is, who are the highest achievers in the world? People who can take sustained periods of pain better than anybody else. Suppose, म एउटा प्रोजेक्ट गरिरहेको छु, मलाई 2 घन्टा स्टेजमा बोल्नु पर्नेछ. 15 वर्ष अगाडि 2 घन्टा स्पिच दिनको लागि I would have had to prepare for 10 hours. Today 9 hours को स्पिच दिनको लागि I need to prepare for 20 hours. The proportions don't match. Tomorrow I can do 7 days of coaching without any preparation. There are so many topics हैन, 4 घन्टा बोल्नु पर्यो. मलाई बाटोमा श्रीले भनिदिन्छ म्याम आज यो टपिक छ. I'm like, okay, audience के छ, टपिक के छ, occasion के छ, टक टक टक. बाटोमा म जाँदा I can plan and prepare. So my preparation time is going less and less, right? Which means my brain is getting more used to taking higher and higher and higher and higher amounts of pressure. For somebody to speak for 1 hour, they might need a lot of preparation. I can speak for 4 hours sometimes without any preparation as well. What this means is that people who are more and more successful, उहाँको skills यो तरिकाले stack हुन्छ that later on, with less input, they are getting more output because their brain is continuously evolving to take more and more pressure. My brain is exactly like that. I know my brain is tired, but that's the only way you can achieve success in something like what I do, which is a knowledge-based job, where your brain has to be used to taking more and more pressure. Yes, my eyes water sometimes. Yes, my body gives up sometimes, but my brain does not stop working because I know that's the only thing that keeps it going. Not easy. It is toxic, not suggested. What do? I am like this. But when I rest, yesterday, यस्तो funny भयो क्या, म रेस्ट गरिरहेको थिएँ. रेस्ट गर्दा बोर पनि भयो. कति घन्टा काउचमा सुत्ने, सेकेन्ड म्युजिक सुनेर हैन, मुभी हेर्न ट्राई गरेँ, बिचमा निन्द्रा लाग्यो, उठेँ, बोर भयो. आई कल्ड अप माई फ्रेन्ड. अनि साथीसँग बोल्दा आई सेड अब म फुल सेन्टेन्सेसमा बोल्दिनँ, अब म सर्ट फर्म्समा बोल्छु. सो दे लाइक, व्हाट डु यु मीन? आई से इफ आई एम लाइक आई एम हंग्री, आई से IAH and you have to understand what I'm saying. And my friend is like, are you crazy? I said, I'm just bored. He's like, please start working again. You are not good if you're bored. Your brain is doing crazy stuff. I know. This is the funny bhaja. When I'm bored, my brain is not even thinking. My brain is just like, no, I'm going to talk to you like this. IDC. I don't care. So he's like, I don't understand what you're saying. I said, exactly, I'm bored. Do something. This is the funny one, Malai. So I think, yes, my brain does take a lot of pressure. My brain handles pressure than most other people. I remain very calm under pressure. Any good sports person remains very calm under pressure. But my body does give up faster than a sports person because it's not used to it. But my brain works very hard over time. Not a good thing.
हजुरले आफ्नो त्यो आई थिङ्क स्पेनमा स्पेनवाला you said this you have to think like a sports person.
yes
कति धेरैजनालाई चाहिँ हजुरले त्यहाँ भन्नुभएको मलाई एकदमै एउटा कुरा एकदम राम्रो के लागेको थियो भने हामी समस्यामा हुँदाखेरि हामीलाई सोच्ने होइन हाम्रो क्लोज वान समस्यामा पर्दा हामीले के सजेस्ट गर्छौँ त्यो वेमा सोच्नुपर्छ भनेर भन्नुभएको थियो. अर्को चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै राम्रो लागेको चाहिँ यो सबै चिजहरू गरेर अनि तपाईँले के भन्नु मैले आई ह्याड फन अनि आई ह्याड समथिङ एकदमै रेयर मान्छेहरूसँग हुन्छ इन्डियन आई थिङ्क ट्राभल डकुमेन्ट्स किन्न पनि पाउँदैन अनि यत्तिकै पनि पाइँदैन भनेर. सो यस्तो सिचुएसनहरूमा चाहिँ इमोसनली ब्रेकडाउन भइन्छ. हजुरले भन्नुभयो नि म रोएँ भनेर अहिले पनि यत्रो धेरै प्रेसर गर्दाखेरि आम स्योर त्यो एउटा मदरहुड पनि काहीँ न काहीँ हाइड हुन्छ नि त होइन. काम गर्दै गर्दाखेरि ओहो टाइम दिन पाएन अथवा प्यारेन्ट्स आर देयर फेस्टिभल्स आर देयर आम लिभिङ हियर. यो कन्फ्लिक्ट जुन हुन्छ नि इमोसनल कन्फ्लिक्ट यसलाई चाहिँ कसरी म्यानेज गर्नुहुन्छ?
I'll answer this in two separate ways. Okay, so the first is how do you deal with a difficult situation? Right? Spain ma, for context, for people who may not have watched that, मेरो पासपोर्ट चोरी भएको थियो होइन. स्पेन पुग्न बित्तिकै 2 घन्टाभित्र 5 जनाको टोलीले आएर लिटरली प्रपरली मेरो पासपोर्ट चोर्यो. अनि त्यतिखेर हामी अलि सोझो पनि परेको होइन. मेरो साथी र म हामी 2 जना गएको थिएँ. सी वाज अल्सो नट अवेयर आई वाज नट अवेयर. हुन त पढेर गएको थिएँ स्पेन इज फुल अफ पिक पकेट्स. तर पिक पकेट मात्र भएन कि टोली नै आयो प्रपर अर्गनाइज तरिकाले. 5 जनाले पासपोर्ट लग्यो मेरो फोन लग्यो अनि मसँग भएको अलिकता नेपाली रुपियाँ लग्यो होइन.
युरो लगेन भन्नुभएको
युरो चाहिँ गएन मेरो. युरो मैले मजाले लुकाएको थिएँ अनि तर यो सबै त गयो. अनि द थिङ इज नाउ वेन युआर इन अ सिचुएसन लाइक द्याट इट इज नर्मल टु फिल स्क्यार्ड. इट इज नर्मल टु थिङ्क हाई मसँग किन भयो. It is normal to have all of those emotions. But you also need to realize if you have these emotions, it's going to make it difficult for you to come out of that situation, because in a difficult situation where you've lost everything, all that you have is the power of your mind. Okay? All that you have is your brain, the power of your mind. I had lost some money. I had lost my phone. I lost my passport. I am literally an illegal person in a very, very foreign country where I don't even speak the language. Now what do I do? Okay? सो त्यतिखेर मैले होइन नम्बर 1 रोएँ. आँखाबाट आँसु झर्न थाल्यो पासपोर्ट हराएपछि. देन आई रियलाइज द्याट आई हेभ टु काम माइसेल्फ डाउन. आई हेभ टु स्टेबलाइज माइसेल्फ एन्ड आई केम अप विथ अ 4-step formula that anybody can use in order to calm themselves down in a difficult situation. And I promise you त्यो सिचुएसन त 7 वर्ष अगाडिको हो होइन. नै 6 वर्ष अगाडिको हो. त्यो यो जुन मैले 4-step फर्मुला बनाएको त्यसपछि मैले 10,000 चोटि नै युज गरिसक्यो होला होइन probably in different situations. I'll tell you. So the 4-step formula is very simple. Number 1, I am under this problem. I am in this situation. What can I do to stop this negative train of thoughts from moving? जब हामी नेगेटिभ सिचुएसनमा हुन्छौँ, कुनै इन्सिडेन्ट भएको छ, हामी नेगेटिभ सोचिरहेछौँ, हाम्रो ब्रेनले के गर्छ एउटा नकारात्मक सोच त्योसँग अर्को आएर जुड्छ. त्यो म्याग्नेट जस्तो हुन्छ क्या. एउटा नकारात्मक आयो त्यसपछि अर्को पनि आइदिन्छ, अर्को पनि. योर ब्रेन इज लाइक अ ट्रेन जसको ब्रेक फेल पनि भइसकेको छ अनि त्यो रङ बाटोमा गइरहेछ. जानु यो तरिकाले हो, यो तरिकाले गइरहेछ, ब्रेक फेल पनि छ अनि यस्तो गरेर झरिरहेछ के. The first thing you need to do is stop that train from going so fast. You have to stop that train. Okay? त्यो train जुन समय stop हुन्छ, you will be able to take the next step. So I always ask myself, यो situation negative छ, how do I stop these negative thoughts from coming to me? Number 1 answer always आउँछ, go have a bath, go for a swim, go for a walk, eat a chocolate. स्पेनमा हुँदाखेरि आन्सर आएको थियो यति रोइरहेको छु के गरौँ चक्लेट खाऊँ. ब्यागमा चक्लेट थियो घम 2-3वटा खाएँ के. डजन्ट म्याटर अबाउट द क्यालोरिज. एट द्याट टाइम यु निड स्टेबिलिटी, यु निड रेगुलेसन. नम्बर 1 त्यो. नम्बर 2 चक्लेट खाँदा खाएपछि अलिकता काम डाउन भयो. दि एन्जाइम्स किक्ड इन. आई थिङ्क अक्सिटोसिन सेरोटोनिन हुन्छ त्यसमा. किक्ड इन, फेल्ट स्लाइटली काम, sat on the sidewalk. आँखाबाट अलिअलि आँसु आइरहेको छ तर त्यो अनकन्ट्रोलेबलवाला क्राइङ स्टप भयो. अब चाहिँ ब्रेनलाई सोधेँ, what do I still have to be grateful for? यो सिचुएसनमा पनि म कुन कुरामा ग्रेटफुल छु? स्टप भइसकेको थियो तल जाने अनि ग्रेटफुल यानी ग्र्याटिट्युड यानी कुन कुराको लागि आज पनि म खुसी छु, आज पनि म आभारी छु, त्यो सोच्ने बित्तिकै त्यो ट्रेन यस्तो गइरहेको स्टप त भइसकेको थियो, बिस्तारै 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 इट्स गोइङ टु स्टार्ट कमिङ टु द राइट ट्र्याक बिकज नाउ यु आर थिङ्किङ पोजिटिभ थिङ्स. स्पेनमा हुँदा थाहा छ कुन आइडिया आयो? जे भयो भयो, स्पेनमा छु, एटलिस्ट बी ह्याप्पी. यति वर्षदेखि ल्यान्ड गरिसके, यति वर्षदेखि प्रे गरिरहेको, म्यानिफेस्ट गरिरहेको, पैसा बचाइरहेको, यहाँ आइपुगे, एटलिस्ट बी ह्याप्पी अबाउट द्याट. ल, स्टेप 2 भयो. स्टेप 3, ask yourself, यो सिचुएसनमा मेरो सट्टा मेरो बहिनी भयो भने म कुन सल्लाह दिन्थेँ? Why? Our brains are very good at giving advice to other people. I'll ask you for some advice, you'll give me amazing advice. You ask me for some advice, I'll give you amazing advice. I ask myself for some advice. त्यो advice को narrative को त्यो जुन lens हुन्छ, त्यो हेर्ने तरिका इमोशन्सले क्लाउड गरिदिन्छ के. इमोशन्सले हामीलाई सही पिक्चर देख्न दिँदैन. तर अर्को मान्छेको सिचुएसनमा हामीसँग इमोसन त्यति धेरै स्ट्रङ हुँदैन, हाम्रो इमोसनले त्यो लजिकलाई क्लाउड गर्दैन के. सो द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ इज टु आस्क योर सेल्फ, यो सिचुएसनमा मेरो बहिनी भयो भने म कुन सल्लाह दिन्थेँ, आमा भयो भने कुन सल्लाह दिन्थेँ, छोरा भयो भने कुन सल्लाह दिन्थेँ. Do exactly that, and then the train will start going in the right direction. So you have managed to regulate yourself. Suruma, stop the negative thoughts. Second, start thinking in a positive direction. Third, start acting on positive suggestion that you have to give yourself because there's nobody else to suggest anything to you at that point. That's the way I come out of difficult situations. त्यो एउटा कुरा. हजुरको अर्को प्रश्न थियो, how do you manage emotions? When it comes to long-term emotional management, कुनै इन्सिडेन्ट छैन. यो त इन्सिडेन्ट थियो, ल पासपोर्ट चोरी भयो, इमोसन्स कसरी ह्यान्डल गर्ने. long-term emotional regulation गर्नको लागि, for me, everyone could have a different coping mechanism. There are two things that really work. Number one, logic. I need to logically tell myself that this is the correct step for me right now. May not be the correct step after 2 years, but if I can convince myself, आफूलाई convince गर्न सके, अहिलेको लागि यो logical step छ भने, it's going to work. So that's going to be number one. And number two, I've also started looking at every experience in my life as a learning opportunity. The moment you can do that, you are able to make peace with your emotions much better. Yes, mom guilt हुन्छ. Yes, मलाई लाग्छ ओहो छोरालाई टाइम दिन पाएन, मेरो मामुले त मलाई कति धेरै टाइम दिनुहुन्थ्यो सानो हुँदा. तर my mom did not live in the world I live in. My mom did not have the kind of responsibilities I have. I know आजको दिनमा मसँग जे छ त्यसमा म बाबुलाई जति राम्रो गर्न सक्छु. I know as a mother I'm doing my best. पहिला धेरै गिल्ट हुन्थ्यो, आजकल त्यो गिल्ट छैन because I know everything I'm doing is for my son. के So I don't feel that guilt at all. And no, not at all त नभनौँ. I don't feel that guilt on a long run. On a short run, yes, I do feel that guilt.
अहिले चाहिँ मलाई हजुरलाई सोध्न मन लागेको, हजुरले भन्नुभयो you're the mother and you're giving a time to your child, त्यो मिलाइराख्नु भएको छ. तर अहिले नयाँ मान्छेहरूलाई स्पेशली वुमेनहरूलाई के चाहिँ लाग्न थालेको रहेछ भने मदरहुड र करियर के चुज गर्नेवाला. दे वान्टेड टु बिकम अ मदर, तर उहाँहरूलाई के डर लाग्छ अब मेरो करियर जान लाग्यो. जस्तै अब फर इक्जाम्पल इफ आई गेट प्रेग्नेन्ट भने पनि कम्तीमा 3 वर्ष मेरो करियर ग्याप भयो, द वे आई थिङ्क त्यसरी होइन. भने यो टाइममा तपाईँले अहिले काम गरिराख्नु भएको छ अनि तपाईँको बच्चा पनि 10-11 वर्ष पुगिसक्यो भने यो चिजलाई ब्यालेन्स गर्दै गर्नु पर्यो भने चाहिँ कसरी गर्ने रहेछ. मलाई मदर पनि बन्न छ, मलाई करियर पनि ग्रो गर्न छ, तर आम स्क्यार्ड इन बिट्विन, आम स्टक देयर भने कसरी गर्ने?
Okay, it's never easy. It's never easy because both are extremely difficult. To have a great career is extremely difficult. It's so taxing on your brain. हैन कति धेरै एफर्ट गर्नुपर्छ, कति धेरै काम गरिराख्नुपर्छ. To be a mother is not easy at all. Forget the physical changes. There are so many mental and emotional changes as well. There's so much of social changes. Suddenly your life is not about you anymore, at least for the first few months. It is about यो मान्छेलाई जिन्दा राख्नु पर्यो. Right? That's your responsibility. You're only thinking this person has to be alive, this person has to be healthy, this person has to grow. It doesn't matter if you have not gone to the toilet for the last 6 hours. You forget about your body. You start thinking about the other person. I understand that. That is a natural cycle that happens so that the human species can go forward. As a mother, My first responsibility for the first few months and years is always my child, because that is how the human race will move forward. No, आफूलाई पछाडि राखेर अर्को पिढीलाई त्यो प्राथमिकता किन दिनु पर्यो, so that the human race can move forward. त्यो हुन्छ, सबैलाई हुन्छ. But if there is a need in you, family को needले गर्दा काम गर्नु पर्यो. त्यस्तो पनि हुन सक्छ कतिजनालाई सेल्फ एस्टिमको लागि काम गर्नु पर्यो. हैन, जबसम्म म काम गर्दिन मेरो आफ्नो परिचय, मेरो आफ्नो पहिचान के पनि हुँदैन, त्यस्तो सोचेर पनि कतिजना आइमाईहरू काम गर्नुहुन्छ. फेयर इनफ, गुड. कतिजनाले किन काम गर्छ? मेन्टल स्टेटलाई प्रिजर्भ गर्न. मलाई पैसा त्यति धेरै चाहिँदैन, तर if I sit at home 24 hours, my mind starts playing evil games on me. म पनि त्यस्तै छु के, हिजो भनेको नि कस्तो कस्तो फनी कुरा गरिराथे हैन. Your mind starts playing evil games on you. You're not used to that. I understand, no matter what the situation, if you want to work, if you have to work, if you feel the need to work, it's not easy to balance. Here's a few things that you can do in order to make that job easy for you. A, have a good support system. It could be your family staying with you. मसँग त्यो option थिएन, which means you have to have a paid support system. You have to get a good didi, you know. I'm super lucky for the people I have in my life. My office, my team, my didi, my gadi chalane dai, everyone is amazing people. So you have to have a good support system. It's not possible for you to leave your child and go for a 9 to 5. That's not going to happen. Support system strong hunu paryo. Next, you have to take care of yourself better. At that point, kaam pani cha, bachcha pani cha, and you have fallen sick, that cannot be possible. You have to take care of yourself better. Next, you have to take something called stolen time. What is stolen time? हामी इन्स्टामा 6 घण्टा बस्दिन्छौँ, टाइम कहाँ जान्छ थाहा पनि हुँदैन. Stolen time is every day wake up just 10 minutes early. त्यो 10 minutes prioritize, get your main things out of the way. If you start getting into this process of stealing 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, मलाई माला गर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ, कतिचोटि गाडीमा बसेर माला गरिहाल्छु. If you can do things like that, you will be able to keep a bit more time for yourself, हैन? तर I promise you, जति पनि बोल्छु, it's not easy. सुरुमा जब मेरो बाबु सानो थियो, मसँग इनफ पैसा थिएन बाबुको लागि एउटा राम्रो दिदी राख्न, हैन? आई युज टु बाबुलाई डे केयरमा छोडेर ट्याक्सी लिएर दौडेर काममा जाने, डे केयरलाई फोन गर्ने, मलाई 1 घण्टा ढिलो हुन्छ, प्लिज बाबुलाई राखिदिनु होला, उसलाई केही खुवाइदिनु होला, म आएर पैसा पछि तिर्छु, यो गर्छु त्यो गर्छु, ट्याक्सी लिने, डे केयरमा बाबुलाई गएर लिने, कहिलेकाहीँ रुन्थ्यो मेरो बच्चा, उसलाई समात्ने, आएर बाबुसँग 1-2 घण्टा टाइम स्पेन्ड गर्ने, त्यसपछि रातभरि उठेर रातभरि जगेर फोटोज एडिट गर्ने. द्याट टाइम आई वाज वर्किङ एज अ फोटोग्राफर अल्सो. एकदम गाह्रो भएको थियो. But you have to steal time for yourself if you want to do this. You have to have a good support system, and you have to know your priorities. If you're working because there's a financial need, I understand that. You have to do it. You have to accept it. Put in all the effort you can to be as healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically, because this is a challenging time. But you also need to remember that is the most needed you'll ever be. Never again in your life will your child need you that much. Never again in your life will anybody need you as much as a 3-year-old child needs you, okay? So त्यो फेजलाई अलिकता इन्जोय पनि गर्नु पर्यो जस्तो लाग्छ.
यो चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै सोध्न मन लागेको, किनभने हेर्दाखेरि यो डुइङ सो वेल, यति धेरै काम गर्छु, 40 घण्टा काम गर्छु, एउटै ट्रेनिङको लागि 9 घण्टा स्ट्रेट बोल्नुपर्छ भन्नुभयो. त्यो बिहाइन्ड द सिनको कामहरू कसैले पनि देख्दैन आफू बाहेक, होइन? इभन दो तपाईँको टिम मेम्बरले पनि पुरै देख्दैन, आधा देखिन्छ होला, तर मिड नाइटमा काम गर्नुभयो उठेर भने त्यो देख्दैन नि त टिमले, होइन? त्यो पनि आफ्नो हुन्छ. अनि कति धेरैजनालाई चाहिँ देख्दाखेरि यस्तो राम्रो गरिरहनु भएको छ, यु आर अल्सो ग्रोइङ अ बेबी. त्यो भएर मलाई एकदमै यो प्रश्न चाहिँ हजुरलाई सोध्न मन थियो. अर्को चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म तपाईँले के गल्तीहरू गर्नुभयो लाइफमा? ओहो मैले यो नगरिदिएको भए अथवा यो नगरेको भए मैले रिग्रेट्स, र त्यो रिग्रेट्सलाई पे अफ गर्नलाई के गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ?
एउटा ठुलो रिग्रेट मात्र छ. I got married very early. I think if this one regret was not there in my life, I would have nothing else to regret. Okay? हेर्दाखेरि I got married at the age of 21. I wasn't sure. It was an arranged marriage. At that time, I did not even know how to stand up and say no to my father. बाबाले भन्नुभयो, न सोचेकनी केही नभनेकनी मैले यस भनिदिएँ के गर्ने, हैन? Every time I look back on that decision, I realize it was a mistake, not for anything else, but for the fact that it was too early. I was a gold medalist in economics. म के गर्न सक्थेँ, कहाँ पुग्न सक्थेँ के? तर अब जब हेर्छु आइम लाइक ओके जे भयो भयो 19 वर्ष 16 वर्ष एक तरिकाले एकदम गाह्रो भएको थियो मलाई. Now that I look back with so much of ek tarikale gratitude because that made me who I am today. Maybe I wouldn't have been so empathetic. Maybe I wouldn't have known how to communicate so well if I was not tested on my patience every day. Maybe I didn't know so much about hard work if everything was coming to me on a platter. Maybe I wouldn't have understood anything about adjusting in a difficult place if I did not have to adjust in Nepal in a difficult situation. So, ajako dinma, I think I'm very resilient. I'm very strong mentally, very, very strong mentally. And all of this is because of that one thing. So, त्यो जुन एउटा regret थियो, if I think of it as, okay, it should not happen to everybody, तर मेरो लाइफमा this is what I needed to become who I am today. If I look at it like that, it's easier to deal with it. It's probably a coping mechanism, but it works well for me. अनि मलाई के लाग्छ यो तरिकाले हेर्दाखेरि I am telling myself I am lucky. I am lucky that this happened to me. And the more you tell yourself you're lucky, the luckier you get, because this is called lucky girl syndrome. So now regret like change garera, I'm programming my mind to tell myself, Mannsi, you're so lucky this happened to you. You got a chance to grow into the person you're meant to be through your challenges. And I think that's a beautiful thing and a great way of looking at it.
Do you believe in luck?
Yes. I am lucky that things went wrong in the way they did. I am lucky that I was born to the mother I was born to. I am lucky that I was born in the 80s and not in the 40s because my life would have been different. I am lucky that I was born into a country where education was easily accessible to people like me. I am lucky that my grandfather did not say, "Eh, chori cha na padhaune." I am lucky. So many amazing things happened in my life. I believe in luck.
More you say you're lucky, you become luckier.
100%.
With this statement, we're moving to real story segment.
Okay.
यसमा a few questions छ. नेपाललाई one sentence मा describe गर्नु पर्यो भने कसरी गर्नुहुन्छ?
The closest you can get to heaven on this planet. The closest. There are places in Nepal. Okay, one sentence. That's it. That's done. But there are places in Nepal which are more beautiful than I think heaven is. So one sentence, the closest you can get to heaven on this planet itself.
थाहा छ one sentence पनि भन्नु मन लागेन हजुरले भन्दै गर्दा.
हजुर नभनौँ अलि बेसी भएर होइन होइन वानमा ट्राई गर्छु ल.
हजुरलाई म बागमतीको सोध्छु अब नेपालपछि. You did imagine नेपाल अनि तपाईँले बागमती प्रदेशलाई यसरी त्यो खोज तलास गर्नुभयो. अहिले जो व्यक्तिलाई बागमती प्रदेश भनेर काठमाडौँ मात्रै हो भन्ने लाग्छ, बागमती प्रदेश के हो तपाईँका लागि?
You know, I don't know why I'm crying when I think of Imagine Nepal today. अब त आँखाबाट त्यो स्ट्रेसवाला आँसु छैन के. Imagine नेपाललाई यति वर्षपछि सम्झेको के भर्खरै I think. It was such a good experience. Like, हामी नेपालमा घुम्नु पर्ने हो भने काठमाडौँ, पोखरा, चितवन and maybe Everest, you know that side. Maybe a bit on the west, a bit on the east इलामहरू सोध्छौँ तर होइन. There is so much more to see. There is so much more to experience. गाउँमा there are things to see के. बागमती प्रदेशमा हामी यस्तो यस्तो ठाउँमा गएको. मेरो फेभरेट ठाउँ has to be गतलाङ. मैले एउटा भिडियो नै बनाएको गतलाङको बारेमा अनएक्सप्लोर्ड भनेर होइन. There's so much to see, experience, learn and gain. I think we haven't even been able to scratch the surface of what there is in this country के. कसैले बुझेकै छैन. यहाँ बसेको मान्छे त झन् I feel most of us don't even understand the beauty because हाम्रो लागि त त्यो नर्मल हो के हैन. हिँडिरहेछौँ बसन्तपुरमा ओ पार्टी छ हिटी छ ओ यति राम्रो you don't even know it. आउटसाइडर्सको आँखाबाट हेर्नु थाहा हुन्छ के छ. एउटा त त्यो कुरा मलाई सधैँ लाग्छ. अर्को कुरा because mountains छ accessibility कम छ, infrastructure छैन proper हैन, बाटो छैन proper. अहिले भनिरहेछ कहीं कुनै कुनै ठाउँमा बनिरहेछ तर because that infrastructure is not that good, we haven't reached so many places. We talk about the places that are easy to reach, absolutely, and that's how it should be from a tourism perspective. तर नेपालमा यस्तो सानो सानो गाउँमा यति राम्रो राम्रो मान्छे हुनुहुन्छ, यति माया गर्न सक्ने, it's unbelievable. Oh my God, what was your question? You asked for one sentence, I can write a story on.
You fall in love with the word chori.
Oh, yes, Bagmati Pradesh, everything. Yes, no, Bagmati Pradesh was all chori. Nobody thought, they realized I'm not a Nepali, but everyone was like, "Hai na, hamro chori ho, hamro didi ho." Bagmati Pradesh is Oh my God, so much love, so much love. Like, होली भक्तपुरमा खेल्दाखेरि बच्चाहरूले आएर हामीलाई यस्तो हैरान गर्यो, यस्तो भक्तपुरको गली गली भित्र छिरेर the way we played होली, the kind of things we did, यो त experiences once in a lifetime हो, and I got a chance to live that. And I also realized I forgot your question because you asked me about Imagine Nepal and I started crying. What was your question?
Describe the Bagmati Province.
In one word, in one sentence, there is much more than we know. We haven't scratched the surface of it yet. It's unbelievably beautiful.
What inspires you the most every day?
The future version of me, who I know I'm going to be.
What is your deepest pain?
Not standing up for myself when I should have. Not having had the courage to stand up for myself when I should have.
आज तपाईलाई हेर्दाखेरि यति धेरैजनाले कम्युनिकेसन कोच, इन्टरनेसनल ट्रेनर, TEDx स्पिकर, फोटोग्राफर, मदर यो एस्पेक्टबाट हेर्नुहुन्छ. तर who are you through the lens of Mannsi?
A very hardworking, honest, sincere person.
आजसम्मको गल्तीहरूबाट सिकेको 3टा कुराहरू लाइफमा.
Stand up and speak up. Enjoy every moment because you don't know what's happening tomorrow. Transformation is possible. Alchemy is real. I will just talk a bit about enjoy every moment because you don't know, okay? I will give you a bit. I know it's one sentence, but I'll give you a point. Yo barsa holi ayo, haina? And I was going to play holi. Seto euta naya sar kurta kinera eta uta साथीहरुसँग होली खेल्ने. अनि मेरो छिमेकीलाई भेटे ओर्लिँदाखेरि घरबाट छिमेकीलाई भेटे and he's like कता जानुहुन्छ? I said होली खेल्न. He's 4-5 years younger than me. He's like, no, I'm too old to play holi. And I said, I'm too old to not play holi. Oh, what if I die in 30 years? That means I have only 30 holis left. I am too old to not play holi. Okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like, Malai to lagcha ma 35 puge. I'm too old to play holi. I'm like,
I'm turning 40 this year.
I'm too old to not play holi. I will play every single holi of my life now. I will do everything I have to every time because I'm too old. What if I never get a chance to do it again? So I think that live every moment wala tyo jun feel 2-3 वर्षदेखि भित्र आछ. It's such a big lesson I've got.
You'll always be forever 21st.
I was actually hoping forever 15, but 20 also works.
10, no.
Okay. 20.
Minor, no.
Okay, 20. Hazur. 20, Hazur. I will accept that.
What is happiness for you?
Simple things. Good chocolate cake, great music, rain, candles, my couch.
How do you define success?
When you're given many choices. Success is about getting choices. When you're in a position to make choices, when you get a lot of different things to choose from, that's success. The most successful people have people coming to them with new business opportunities. The most successful people have enough money to be able to choose exactly what they want. When your choices become unlimited, that's success.
यति धेरै प्रोफेसनहरूमा इन्गेज हुनुहुन्छ, एउटा मात्रै चुज गर्नु पर्यो भने except the keynote speaker.
You can't do that. You can't take away the best. I'm sorry.
Second one, except the keynote speaker, के चुज गर्नुहुन्छ?
One is keynote speaker. You know that. So that's why you removed it from that. And this is not a good thing. I will say corporate trainer because it's as close to keynote speaking as possible. Keynote speaking is number 1. Number 2 is training. I love training. I love training. But keynote is number 1, okay? I'm still clarifying that.
That's why I said accept this.
Yeah.
How you want to be remembered and what kind of legacy you want to leave behind when you will die?
I want to leave behind 2 things. Okay, how do I want to be remembered? As a very hardworking, sincere, honest person who just wanted to do good, right? What legacy do I want to leave behind? I want to leave behind 2 things. For my child, firstly. Number 1, I want to leave behind a bit of money. Nobody is going to leave me behind any money, but I want to make sure I leave behind some money for him. But more importantly, I want to leave behind a name that he's proud of. I think that's very important for me. And I want to leave behind a lot of values and a lot of things that he remembers that I can learn from. You know, Babu 11 वर्ष हुन लाग्यो. प्रत्येक जन्मदिनमा म बाबुको लागि एउटा चिठी लेख्छु के अलि फिल्मी होला कुछ होता है जस्तो फिल आउँछ तर त्यस्तो छैन. Every year I just write a letter to him about the last year, what I learned, how I grew, what mistakes I must have made, how he has been in the last year, and what I want for him in the next few years going ahead. So I think this is one thing that I want to leave behind. I want to leave behind my thoughts and my ideas with him. What he wants to do with is his choice, but I want to leave that behind. How do I want to be remembered by people? What is my legacy? I want to leave behind words that make people happy.
What is motherhood for you?
A big responsibility. Only do it if you're prepared. If you're not prepared, don't jump into it. That's a mistake. It's unfair on your child.
One thing you deeply missed about your childhood.
Do I miss today? What I miss today? Or what I did not have when I was growing up as a kid?
You miss childhood today as a सम्झिँदाखेरि के लाग्छ?
My grandfather. He passed away in 2013. I think I was a child till 2013 because he was alive. He kept my childhood alive for as long as he was alive. Till he was alive, even my father was like a child. He never let anybody, in a good way, grow up. Because he was there, we knew we were all protected. So for me, in a lot of ways, my childhood was not only till I was 10, 12, 15, 18. It stretched till 2013 because my grandfather was alive, because I knew he was there. So I think that's what I miss. I miss his presence because now I can't be a child again anymore, just the lapse.
How your parents describe your job? के गर्छ छोरीले?
Oh my God, you don't... Okay. I don't know about what they understand about what I do. They understand very well. My parents are both educated, very smart, very smart. But my mother, now imagine her, Pechara, I'd give her full credit for this. एकचोटि हामी पोखरा गएको थियौँ हैन, मामु छोरा र म. अनि पोखरामा हामी पोखरामा थिए, घुमिरहेको थिए, यताउता मान्छेहरू आएर सेल्फी लिइरहेछ, यताउता यताउता हैन. अलि त्यो मान्छेले भेटिरहेछ, ओहो मान्छे म्याम नमस्ते नमस्ते कुराहरू भइरहेछ, ऱ्यान्डम पिपल अन द रोड. सो माई मदर्स लाइक वाह वाह, माई छोरी इज डुइङ भेरी वेल. कम बैक होम, मैं भाड़ा मस्काइरहेको छु के. माई मम इज लाइक ये है तुम्हारा असली रूप, कोई नहीं जानेगा, तुम ये हो. एन्ड देन शी सीज मी एन्ड आई एम डुइङ लाइक द मोस्ट normal things, you know, घरमा shorts मा बसिरहेको छु, भुइँमा बसेर खाइरहेको छु. My mom is like, people just don't understand you outside. They think you're this amazing, glamorous, makeup लगाएर, राम्रो लुगा लगाएर बस्ने मान्छे. Confident, bold. घरमा आएर, I'm still confident and bold, but you do so much of behind the scenes kind of work. You're always working, picking up things, pushing things, doing things. I think they're confused about my life. My parents don't live in Nepal, right? So उहाँहरू के हेर्नुहुन्छ मेरो लाइफको, बाहिरबाट हेरिरहेको, सोशल मिडियामा हेरेको कुराहरू. Only when I visit or when they visit, they see how not that person I am in real life. Okay? How easy I am in real life. Okay? So my parents are confused. My father, of course, my parents both understand exactly what I do. They just don't understand how I have these two different lives altogether. They just don't get it.
Last time मैले रियालाई सोधेको थिएँ, रिया श्रेष्ठ, how your mother describe your job भन्दाखेरि, oh my god, भिडियो बनाउँछु भन्नुहुन्छ. के भिडियो बनाउँछ त? सोच न कस्तो तरिकाले भन्छ, भिडियो बनाउँछ.
हैन, मेरो मामुलाई थाहा छ exactly what I do because my mom has actually attended one of my training sessions.
Nice.
My father himself is a very good speaker, so he understands what I do. He completely gets the importance of the job. He just does not understand how I'm so good at it. Like he does not understand that, okay, you are this person, everybody comes to you for work, but like, you are you, I know you since you were a child. Like, how can you be this? You know, they don't understand the two lives I have. Because they see me from the inside and they see me from the outside and त्यो match हुँदैन के उहाँको लागि.
I think that's the beauty, right? Like, your parents don't know exactly what you do. And then, or maybe the core. अनि त्यो हामी त सधैँ बच्चै हो नि त उहाँहरूको लागि. The way you treat us not as a successful बाहिरको person, like त बच्चा हो घरमा, यही हजुरले भन्नुभयो नि हैन, त्यो त यही हो घरमा त यसरी बस्छ भनेर.
If I'm not patyawing my luga properly, my mother will scream at me. If my cupboard is dirty, she's going to be like, what is it? You don't know how to keep your cupboard properly. No, आएर कराउनुहुन्छ. When my mother is in Kathmandu, people know this. I am her slave. She will make me clean things. यस्तो पेलेर राख्छ मलाई मेरो मामुले, यस्तो पेल्छ हैन. My mom is so like, she treats me like I'm a child अहिले पनि कहिलेकाहीँ लाग्छ. And I am in her eyes, right? When I go to India, she's like, ये क्यों खरे यो क्यों करे, कति गर्छ. But yeah, she does not understand my life at all that way. Yeah.
And guys, No, no, nightmare.
Not just that. Why are you eating this? You eating too much of this. This will happen to your skin. That will happen. You need to be in front of the camera. Your make. She calls me. She's like, "Astiko video ma timro kapal kati naramro lageko. Why are you doing this? Why are you not taking care?" My mom is very. She wants the best, and she doesn't understand the amount of work I'm doing and how I can't bother about the small stuff. She sees my cupboards. She gets angry. She's very like kit ali kata with me. Ali basic.
Okay, so 5 qualities every leader should have.
Good listener, very good communicator, strategic. The 5th one is the most important. I'll tell you that later. Good listener, good communicator, strategic, futuristic, and most importantly, charismatic. Charisma, that word, ko real meaning ho, the middle point between respect and love. So, when somebody is charismatic, actually this is the only quality that a leader needs to have. You need to be charismatic. Charismatic मान्छे त्यो हुन्छ हामी उलाई हेरेर डिसाइड गर्न सक्दैन do I respect them more for their skills or do I like them more for the person they are. That is charisma. If I meet somebody and I'm immediately like, wow, and then I can't decide, oh my God, do I respect this person more because of how smart, how skilled, how talented they are? Or do I like this person for how comfortable they make me feel, how sweet they are, how nice they are? If I can't decide which is more, that person is extremely charismatic, and that is the number one skill that a leader needs to have.
यसले एउटा के रे टी सिरिज भन्नु भएको I guess, right? Skills.
T shape, yes.
T skill बार.
Yes.
कम्युनिकेसनको फिल्डमा आउने चाहने मान्छेले सिक्नुपर्ने तपाईको एक्सपिरियन्सको आधारमा टी स्किल्सहरु के हो?
टी स्किल के हो? टी स्किल बुझाउँछु फेरि एकचोटि फर रेफरेन्स हैन. One specialization skill, many generalization skills, correct? Euta skill in which you're a champion, and many small skills in which you're a generalist. So you're a specialist and a generalist, and where these skills meet is going to be your T. So for me, my specialization 100% is communication, and my general skills ma dherai hora. Something could be maybe understanding other people, asking good questions, making other people feel confident, knowing how to coach, photography. These could be my other skills. For somebody who wants to get into communication, the good thing is your general skill could be anything. Let's take an example of, let's say, a doctor. You are a specialist as a doctor, good at communication, you can be a great, well-branded doctor. Let's say you're a great speaker, you know a lot about cricket, you could be the best commentator in the world. You're a great speaker, you know a lot about movies, you can become a great movie critic in the world. So what we need to understand is your general skill can be different as per every person, and that is what makes every person unique and stand out.
तपाईले यति धेरै सेसनहरु गर्नुभयो, यति धेरै मान्छेहरु भेट्नुभयो ग्लोबली. अब तपाईले एकजना मात्रै भेट्न पाउनुहुन्छ भनेर भनियो, एक्सेप्ट योर फ्यामिली भन्ने कसलाई भेट्नुहुन्छ र के सोध्नुहुन्छ? 3 टा कुरा.
Sushmita Sen, because of late I realized I'm in love with her personality. If there's one person I want to be like, it's her. What are the 3 things I'll ask her? Where do you get your strength from? What is grace? How do you stand up every time you make a mistake and fall? I think these are the 3 things I'd like to ask her. She's super strong. She's super graceful. And she stands up every single time. She's resilient. These are the 3 things I want to learn from her.
यदि तपाईको लाइफ किताब भयो भने त्यो अन्तिम पानामा के लेखिन्छ होला? बाँकी तपाईले काम गरेको सबै लेखिसक्यो, तर तपाईले क्लोज गर्नु पर्यो 1 पेज लेखेर भने त्यो पेजको थीम के हुन्छ होला? Last page.
She never gave up because she believed. कहिले पनि हार मान्नु भएन किन उहाँसँग धेरै विश्वास थियो. Never gave up because I believe.
What is life for you?
A great experience. It is a journey. It's a great experience.
लाइफलाई हेर्दै गर्दाखेरि अहिलेसम्म जहाँसम्म पुग्नु भयो त्यो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ जीवनलाई जीवन बनाउन के चाहिने रहेछ?
Emotions and the more up and down they are, the more interesting your life is, right? I would never know what happiness is if I wouldn't have experienced sadness. I would never know what joy is if I hadn't seen pain. So I think happiness, sadness, joy, pain, regret, dreams, all of these are just two sides of the same coin, and that's what makes life interesting.
टप 3 ह्याक्स अरूको लागि काम गरेन तर तपाईँको लागि काम गर्यो लाइफमा यो सक्सेस पाउनको लागि
अरूको लागि काम गरेन
तर तपाईँको लागि गर्यो
top 3 hacks which do not work for other people. Hard work works for everybody, yeah. I don't know. Okay, let me think this one through. What worked for me and does not work for others? I was going to say trust people. I trust people very easily, but that hasn't worked for me either. No, don't.
Many can relate.
Yeah, don't. Bichara, my office is struggling every day because paisa uthanu parne, so don't trust people so easily. No. What worked for me but may not work for others? Being genuinely willing to give worked for me very well. Sharing, giving value, doing free webinars, doing, anything like being willing to give all the time really worked very well for me. What really worked for me was learning how to see the good in every situation really worked for me. So कति मान्छेलाई हुन्छ तपाईलाई हेर्न बित्तिकै they might start like questioning you. यो मान्छे किन यस्तो मसँग राम्रोसँग कुरा गरिरा, किन यो गरिरा? I don't have that filter. In my brain, I always see the good for everybody. That really worked out well for me, जस्तो लाग्छ. And another thing that worked out very well for me and not for so many other people, living in Nepal. So many people don't want to somehow live in Nepal. They want to leave the country and go. Yes, I can understand there are problems. Yes, I am not blind to that. But this worked very well for me, जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई, and I'm very happy here.
यसलाई चाहिँ तपाईले मजाले एक्सप्लेन गर्दा हुन्छ यो क्वेशन चाहिँ किनभने तपाई एज अ इन्डियन नेपाल आउनु भयो and I know first barrier language. नेपालमा अंग्रेजी बोल्ने मान्छेहरूलाई एक त बुझिदैन धेरै जनाले बुझ्नुहुन्न सिटी एरियाको बाहेक अझै पनि अर्को चाहिँ बाहिरबाट आएर बोलिरहेको छ काम गरिरहेको छ भन्ने ब्लेमहरु पनि आउँछन् हैन त्यो अपर्च्युनिटी लिइराखेको छ हाम्रो ठाउँ लिइराखेको छ भन्ने पनि लाग्छ तर कुनै पनि व्यक्ति एउटा ठाउँबाट अर्को ठाउँमा मुभ भएर आफ्नो करियर बनाउँदै छ भने त्यो व्यक्तिले गर्नुपर्ने कुराहरु के रहेछन्
It's never easy. मलाई एक दिन पनि सजिलो भएन कुनै कुरामा हैन I had no support apart from one uncle who took me for a Toastmaster meeting. Family बाट मैले कहिले पनि सपोर्ट पाइन अब त एक्लै छु हैन सपोर्ट पनि थिएन एक्लै गर्नुपर्ने धेरै कुरा थियो I think for a very long time I was just learning okay so the 3 or 4 things you can do बाहिर गएर आफ्नो करियर बनाउनु पर्ने भने number 1 focus on learning for as long as you can rather than earning responsibility आएपछि कमाउनु पर्छ तर जबसम्म त्यो लेभलको रिस्पोन्सिबिलिटी छैन जति सिक्न सक्नुहुन्छ सिक्नु पर्यो अर्को बाहिरको ठाउँमा गएर if you want to make your career त्यो भाषामा तपाई जति राम्रो हुनुहुन्छ तपाईलाई त्यति सजिलो हुन्छ त्यो भाषा अनि त्यहाँको संस्कृति जति बुझ्न सक्नुहुन्छ जति अडप्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ त्यति सजिलोसँग तपाई मान्छेहरुसँग भेटेर मान्छेहरुसँग मेलमिलाप गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ that you'll just blend right in and that's very important so for me that was number 2 really learning the language understanding the language and loving the language. Number 3, love the people. The more you genuinely love people, it shows, okay? You can't fake love. The more you can genuinely love people, the more you're genuinely happy about meeting people. People can see that and they're more receptive to you. And number 4, ultimately, your skill speaks for yourself. If you're not skilled, आफ्नो देशमा विदेशमा एता उता कहीं पनि गएर you can't do anything. Work on your skills. This is number 1 and number last. This is the most important one. Your skills are going to make you shine out no matter where you go. Keep working on your skills.
अब ब्याक आफ्नो टिनेजमा गएर आफूलाई सल्लाह दिएर इम्प्रुभ गर्नु पर्यो भने के सल्लाह दिनुहुन्थ्यो होला अनि के गर्नुहुन्थ्यो होला
टिनेज मान्छेलाई सल्लाह दिनुपर्ने हुन्थ्यो भने एउटै कुरा भन्थ्यो होला Stop listening to everybody. म सबैको कुरा सुन्थे म यस्तो पीपल प्लीजर पनि फर्स्ट एल्डेस्ट डटर the thing was तुम कितनी अच्छी हो तुम इतने अच्छे बच्चे हो, अच्छे बच्चे ऐसा नहीं करते हैं, अनि त्यो अच्छे बच्चेको त्यो ट्यागले यस्तो प्रेसर हान्यो, यस्तो अच्छे बच्चे हुनेको त्यो टु किप प्रुभिङ that I was the good person they believed I was, I kept not giving myself any importance. And one of the things that I kept hearing from people, I was so used to listening to people, one of the things I kept hearing from people was I was very bad looking. And I kept believing this every single day. And that programming is so difficult to eradicate from your subconscious mind. Because as a teenager growing up, I kept feeling I was not enough. I was not adequate. Nobody would like me. Nobody would want to marry me. No one would want to be with me because I'm so bad looking. I'm so fat. I'm so black. I'm so this. I'm so that. And that programming is so difficult to let go of. So if there's one thing I could tell the 15-year-old Mannsi or maybe the 13-year-old Mannsi, it would be stop listening to everybody. They are talking nonsense. उहाँले त बोलेर सकाइदिन्छ तर मेरो लागि त कति ठुलो इम्प्याक्ट पार्छ नि त्यो कुराले. एन्ड उहाँले नसोचिकन नि बोल्छ होला. उहाँले कोही some people are probably not even well wishers, right? Stop listening to everybody. That would be the only thing that I would like to tell that girl. Because I was listening to everybody, because I was told I should listen to everybody, I'm the good girl, so I should listen to everybody. त्यसले मलाई धेरै गाह्रो पार्यो later, धेरै.
You know, you're very pretty.
I feel it now. I do, because sometimes I see my pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I look so good. I think I started realizing this now. I'm more sensitive maybe to it now. And I've put in effort also to make myself feel better about the way I look. And now I'm like, yeah, actually I'm pretty.
Once you accept yourself and then the confidence
Exactly.
grow every day.
Absolutely, yes.
अहिले यति धेरैजना मान्छेहरूसँग ट्रेनिङ गर्नुभयो बाहिरको नेपालको टिनेजर स्कुल टिचर प्रिन्सिपल ब्याङ्कर्स अहिले यति धेरैवटा ट्रेन्ड छ नि त तपाईलाई त अब म विदेशी भन्न नि मन लाग्दैन किनभने तपाईँ नेपाली भइसक्नुभयो प्रोपर नेपाली हो
19 वर्ष पुगिसक्यो
19 वर्ष भनेको एउटा नागरिकता हासिल गर्न नि त्यो बच्चा जन्मेर 18 पुग्नुपर्छ सो अहिले हेरिराख्दाखेरि नेपालको एकदम धेरै बाहिर गइराखेको छन् तपाईँ यहीँ बसेर काम गरिराख्नु भएको छ अहिलेको युथहरूले के बुझ्न जरुरी छ अनि के लाग्छ जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ बाहिरै मात्रै तानिराखेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ तपाईलाई
म दुईटै कुरा बुझ्छु साच्चै I understand the problem because of which youth are going out. I'm not going to say म बुझ्दिन हैन बाहिर गएर मान्छेहरूलाई लाग्छ 2 वर्ष काम गर्छु हैन यति पैसा घर पठाउन सक्छु घर बनाउन सक्छु बाबाको लागि बाबाले 30 वर्षदेखि स्ट्रगल गरेको हेरिरहेको हुन्छ बच्चाहरू I am very sensitive to their pain. म यो बोल्दिन तर I don't understand their pain के त्यो पनि बुझ्छु तर यो पनि लाग्छ हामीले बनाएन भने देशकोले बनाउने हो त Nobody is going to come and save us. And I say us because even I consider myself 50% Nepali त अब हो कि हैन Nobody is going to save us के अब चाहिँ आवश्यक भइसक्यो for us to really figure out from a governmental level as well as from a personal level माथिबाट पनि अनि individually बाट पनि how can we stop our smartest people from going out. You know the crazy thing for me is म कति जनालाई कोच गर्छु I think 70% would be Nepalis that are that are living abroad, right? So many people we have on our coaching roster. यति धेरै बाहिरको नेपालीहरू हुन्छ बाहिर कोही जो कोचिङ लिन्छ इन्जिनियर डक्टर ठुलो पोजिसनमा राम्रो नर्सहरू कति राम्रो काम गरिराख्नु भएको छ राम्रो कमाइराख्नु भएको छ हैन Now they have enough to be able to come back के right तर कम ब्याक गरेर के गर्ने Can we actually hold them back in the country? Countryमा पनि त्यो पावर हुनु पर्यो आफ्नो मान्छेलाई त्यो समातेर राख्नु पर्ने हैन I don't have a great answer to this question. Nobody does because हरेकको जीवन छुट्टै हुन्छ हरेकको सिचुएसन छुट्टै हुन्छ What I would like to do is I would also like to say it's okay if you stay outside. Don't forget your home. Don't forget your responsibility towards your home. कोही चाहिँ नेपालमा आएर आफ्नो ब्रेनले देश बनाउन सक्छ कोहीले आफ्नो बलले देश बनाउन सक्छ कोही बाहिर बसेर विदेशमा बसेर पैसा पठाएर पनि देश बनाउन सक्छ Let's support everybody in whatever way they can to make the country because ultimately we need to work together to make Nepal the place we deserve to live in. I think that is something we have to think about.
Your favorite 5 words?
My favorite 5 words?
Yeah.
Ooh. Chocolate. That is a bad word to start with. I know my 5th, I know my favorite, okay? Chocolate. Hope. Love. Honesty. Alchemy. Alchemy means, do you know what alchemy means?
Reactions?
No. Alchemy. Okay, this is my favorite word. That's why I said I know my fifth word. Four ko barema sochnu parne. You know, chocolate love, hope, whatever. Alchemy. Alchemy is chemistry hamilai thaha cha. Haina chemistry ke huncha we know. Before chemistry became like the science that we know it, there was a pseudo-science, half-science called alchemy. Chemistry जब आउन लाग्यो popular हुन थाल्यो, people said, oh, alchemy is rubbish, alchemy के पनि हुँदैन, this is nonsense, हटाऊ हटाऊ. Alchemy के थियो त? It was a group of alchemists. त्यो word त सुन्नु भएको छ, The Alchemist, हैन, एउटा बुक छ पाउलो कोएल्होको. It was a group of alchemists जसको लाइफको मिशन थियो कुनै पनि मेटललाई लिएर सुन बनाउने, गोल्ड बनाउने. That was alchemy, के? So alchemists believed that हामी जुन पनि धातु, जुन पनि कुनै फलाम यताउता एनिथिङलाई लिएर गोल्ड बनाउन सक्छौँ. अनि उहाँको लाइफको मिसनै थियो गोल्ड बनाउने, सुन बनाउने, जुन पनि कुरा यसलाई लिएर गोल्ड बनाउने, गोल्ड गोल्ड गोल्ड. त्यो भएन. अनि केमिस्ट्री आयो. अनि the people who made chemistry, the founding fathers of this subject said, alchemy is nothing, alchemy is not real. I don't agree. I think alchemy is real. Everybody has the option, the choices and the skills in life to make themselves the gold they want to be. And so for me, alchemy is the most important word in the dictionary because you can make yourself the gold you want to be. That's why it's my favorite word. In fact, मलाई यो word अति मन पर्छ. Last महिना नि मैले एउटा club start गरेको छु.
Communications Alchemy.
Communication. You remember? Oh, thank you so much. We have found a member. Communication Alchemy Guild. You can change the way you communicate and you can work together through that club to change the way you communicate. It's a free club for everybody. And if you want, actually, maybe I can send you the link. Maybe you can link it at the bottom of this video. And everybody who's watching this podcast can get access to the club if they want to join. And they can learn from there as well.
We will add it.
We will add it. Yeah, welcome to join.
And please do subscribe our channel as well.
Do subscribe to the channel and do join the guild. We would both love to interact with you on a longer, more sustained basis.
It's a win-win game.
Always.
5 किताब पढ्नै पर्ने किताबहरू.
Okay. I have some in mind. Let's start with the easy ones. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Padne padne. The 5 a.m. Club. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, padne padne. The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, padne padne. I'm going to promote my mother. My mother wrote a book called Ram Naam Satya Hai. Padne padne. Aina. Which other book did I recently love? Why do I forget? I'm really bad at this.
I think Gita सबैले पढ्नुपर्छ होला, I guess.
I haven't read it. Okay, I haven't read it. I would not comment on that. Okay, 4th book, I'll come back to this maybe. 5th book, the book I'm going to write within the next 2 years. I'm committing on camera. This is my way of being answerable. 2 वर्ष भित्रमा एउटा किताब लेख्छु. That's going to be the 5th book. पढ्नै पढ्ने.
Best wishes.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be your top 10 customers, one of the top 10.
Done. I will make sure I send you a signed copy the day it's released.
हामी एन्डमा छौँ. मैले सोध्न छुटाएको तर मलाई यो भन्न मन छ भनेको केही छ भने क्वेसन पनि त्यही हो, एन्सर पनि त्यही हो. अब अझै एन्सर गरिदिनुहोस्.
मलाई भन्न मन छ.
Anything to ask.
You know the good thing about you, and I've been evaluating you since you've been speaking because my brain subconsciously evaluates everybody as they speak. You know what I mean, right? This is my job. You're so good at what you do and you have such a clear tone and such a clear way of speaking. I truly enjoyed this conversation. Ani tapai euta ekdam ramro kura garnuhuncha. I'm not going to talk about the flow of questions. I'm going to talk about the depth of questions. You go from a light question to a deep question very fast, and that's amazing. That's an amazing skill to have. Not everybody has it. I always teach people, you need to ask better questions to get better answers. You know, if you ask me, what did you eat for breakfast? I will tell you, I ate roti tarkari, right? But if you ask me, what is the most fascinating thing about eating roti on a daily basis, I'll give you a better answer. So I always say, राम्रो जति राम्रो question, त्यति राम्रो answer. तपाईको प्रश्नहरू मलाई एकदम मन पर्यो. कुराकानी गर्दा पनि एकदमै रमाइलो पनि भयो. And if I were to say something, I would just say thank you so much. I'm really glad I got a chance to communicate with you, to meet with you. and to really share what I feel, because you have given me so many other things to think about, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You know, I manifested this.
Okay. Totally, okay.
Because when I was in media, मलाई top 5 मा कोसँग कुरा गर्न थियो थाहा थियो. Still few more people.
Okay, who
On
all
the
have you
line.
spoken to out of your top 5?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Can you give me names? I'd be happy to hear.
Yeah, मैले त्यो पर्सनली गरेको. अब मलाई बाँकी साम्बा भण्डारीसँग गर्न छ because he's very inspiring for me. And you, Anil sir, he promised me he will be in.
Bio, भइसक्यो कि भएको छैन?
पुरा भइसक्यो. He told me he will be in my show.
Great. He's amazing.
I believe he will be here, sir.
He is amazing. Okay.
He is.
So, Anil sir?
Ani Deepak Buster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, and how can I forget? See, bring the medal for the first time. Olympic ma.
Palista Govardhan.
Palisa. And
Palista.
मलाई first may click back with you, and I interviewed her before she won that medal.
Oh, that's amazing.
And she promised me she will be here back again when she's in Nepal.
Oh, she's wonderful,
Yeah.
no? Yeah, I know of her because of Enselma. She's doing they're working closely together, and they always tell me she's wonderful. So, yeah, you've got a great list. I'm really glad
you so much.
that I was a part of that list, because with these people, I'm like, okay, I'm on this list. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you are, because you're very inspiring.
Thank you so much.
You inspire me in so many ways. So many of us, actually. It's not only me.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, it's out of the box. But give me 5 tips that I can do better in next episode.
Number 1, don't sit with your hands like that.
Okay. Okay.
You want tips? I will be the teacher.
Yeah.
The coach inside me will come out like but garera, haina. So that I'm going to do. Number 1, that. Number 2, take notes. Okay, that really makes a difference. When you take notes, what happens is when you're going to wrap up, because you will wrap up the interview, right? You can always wrap it up better if you've taken notes. Number 3, and this is something that's not a tip, but think about it. You can do it differently. What you could do differently is that you could maybe do your intro at the end. Shoot the intro after the whole podcast is over, after the whole interview is over. That way, you know, hami kun topic tira gaye, and you'll be able to pull that, and you'll be able to say that in the intro, so that when your audience starts watching the podcast, within the first 1 minute, they know exactly what is going to come in the podcast, and they know whether they want to watch or not. So you are setting a very clear expectation for them. Okay, so these are the 3 things I'd like to say. Take notes. This is also going to help you to do the intro later. Do the intro later. Don't ever close your hands like that. Apart from that, you were really, really good.
Thank you so much. And I'll improve it.
That's the way.
And my audience going to tell me this.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. You've been fabulous.
एकदमै रमाइलो लाग्यो मलाई. And I'm very happy. I think you already know it.
I do.
So, तपाईसँग कुराकानी गरेर मलाई मात्र होइन, हाम्रो अडियन्सहरूलाई पनि एकदमै रमाइलो लाग्छ. धेरै कुरा सिक्नुहुन्छ पर्सनली, प्रोफेसनली. अलि बढी पर्सनली किन सोधेको भने तपाईँको पर्सनल कुराहरू, प्रोफेसनल कुराहरू एकदमै धेरै आउँछ बाहिर. एन्ड तपाईँको सोसियल मिडियामा, अरू पडकास्टमा, हजुरले गरेको सोमा पनि दे विल नो कस्तो राम्रो काम गर्नुहुन्छ भनेर. किन मैले अलि बढी एक्सपिरियन्सेस, इमोसन्ससँग जोडेको भने मोरओभर सक्सेसफुल मान्छेहरूको यो स्टोरी अलिकता कम आउँछ. अनि मलाई चाहिँ त्यो पार्टमा अलि बढी कुरा गर्न मन थियो. सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच. इट्स अ लभली टकिङ.
Thank you, Mamita. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm so grateful I got a chance to do this, because every time I have a good conversation, I go back richer. So you've made me much richer today. Thank you so much.
थ्याङ्क यू. आज हामीले अमेजिङ मान्छे म्यामसँग कुराकानी गऱ्यौँ. अर्को एपिसोडमा अर्को नयाँ व्यक्तिका अन्य नयाँ इन्सपायरिङ कुराकानी लिएर उपस्थित हुने नै छौँ. तबसम्म हाम्रो कुराकानी हेर्दै गर्नुहोला. मन परे लाइक, सेयर, सब्सक्राइब पनि गरिदिनु होला. सुधार्नुपर्ने कुराहरूलाई सुटुक्क कमेन्ट गरिदिनु होला. अर्को पटक सुधार्ने कोसिस गर्नेछौँ. थ्याङ्क यू सो मच.